Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rabbi Sarah Haransky with Temple Beth Hillel in Valley Village, California, with our Parashat HaShavua, our Torah portion of the week. This week we have a double Torah portion, Tazria and Mitzorah. They're linked together based on a common theme. The theme is that of tzara'at, or a skin infection, often translated as leprosy, but not actually a very accurate translation. It's a very, very detailed parshiot. Really, all of them are detailed, but I wanted to focus on the opening of Tazria, where it tells us on the 8th day that we should circumcise our sons. It's interesting because Abraham was commanded to do this, and it repeats here. Now here we might infer that with the 8th day being stated so specifically, that perhaps this is the reason we can do a Brit Milah on Shabbat. But my question for us is to consider this outward symbol, this outward sign of a covenant or relationship with God only applies to men. So what about the women? Well, in today's times, we often do something called a Brit Bat, or a service, a covenant with daughters. Brit Bat, covenant for our daughters. A Brit Bat consists of a baby naming and welcoming the child into the Jewish community. Very similar to Brit Milah, except for there is not an actual surgical procedure. During a Brit Milah for a boy, there's a surgical procedure along with the giving of a Hebrew name and the welcoming of the child into the Jewish community. So many folks ask me, well, Rabbi Sarah, is it equal for a girl and a boy? It's not 100% clear if it's equal without that outside symbol, and so there are some who are looking for other meaningful ways to add a covenantal relationship or a sign. For example, one family chose to pierce their daughter's ears as that symbol, and another family approached me and felt that Brit Milah wasn't for them, and they were very specific about not circumcising their son. This is a big decision for each family as to why or why not to do this surgical procedure, and I would encourage you to talk to your rabbi and talk to your moil and ask questions and see what meaningful ways we can draw our children into the covenant of relationship with God. It's one of our first steps as parenting in the Jewish way. And so I would have those discussions and figure out what is the best way to welcome your son or daughter into the Jewish community. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.